the Faith Girlfriend series. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Faith, and I'm so glad you've joined us today. This is a channel where we talk to the women about themselves, about relationships, about parenting. So if you're a woman and you are in a relationship, you're single, you're a parent, this is the channel for you. So today we are talking about submission. Last week I started on a topic, the topic of submission, and I was saying that submission is for the strong. And I got so many questions, people saying, what's the difference between submission and obedience? Because I will not follow a man blindly and obey him. Whatever he says we do, I do. And I realized the reason maybe we're making so many mistakes is because we don't understand what submission is. Okay? So, welcome to the channel. So I feel like we'll have to deal with this for a few more episodes. And I pray that you stay with me through the journey, through the submission series. Please stay on. Let's learn. As I'm learning, as I always say, you'll be learning. So our scripture for this season or for this series is Ephesians chapter 22, which says, chapter 5, verse 22, Ephesians 5:22, it says, wives, submit to your own husbands as unto the Lord. Wives, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord. So, before I tell you to submit, you need to understand what submission is. Submission is following or doing what your spouse is asking out of your own will, not by force, out of your own will, out of respect for him. Okay? Obedience, you really don't have a choice. When it comes to obedience, you do as you're told. You don't necessarily have to, you don't get a choice. You don't necessarily do it because you want to. You do it because you're completely you have no choice on that matter. It's like when you're in school, when you're punished for doing something. You don't have to agree with what the teacher, the punishment, but you have to do it. If you want to continue sitting in that class, especially for those of us who grew up in Africa, you know the teacher was supreme. He says 5 strokes of the cane for failing one math question. You have no choice. You stretch your hand and take it like a little girl or like a boy. Some of you used to cry and shed tears. Hmm? Clearly, you didn't have a choice, because if you didn't get beaten, you'd be thrown out of the class. And that's not the case in a marriage. My husband won't necessarily throw me out for not doing what he's asked me to do or not choosing what he's chosen. But I'm choosing to do it, one, to honor God, two, to honor my husband. Okay? So submission is out of your own will and respect. Obedience, you have no choice. And that's not what Christ asked us. Christ didn't tell us, wives, obey your husbands. Okay? He didn't. He said submit. Submit entails so much. And this is what we're going to be handling maybe in this episode or in the next. What is submission, or how do I submit to my own husband? So today, I just want you to remember 2 things. Submission is not obedience. Submission is out of your own will. Submission is by choice. Yeah, when we say by your own will, it's by choice. You choose to submit. And as I said last week, in the office, you're submitting to your bosses, you're submitting to your bishops. When we say submission is not obedience, because you can choose to go to a different church if you don't want to submit to the current man of God that God has put over you. So if you're choosing to do what they're telling you, you're there by choice. At work, you can choose to quit that job if you don't want to. So at the office, you're submitting as well. So marriage, now that's the ultimate. You chose this man, and for you to have a happy marriage, for you to enjoy the marriage, for your man to feel respected and loved, you need to learn how to submit. And that's what we're going to be learning for the next few episodes. So I hope you stay tuned through the submission series. Call your girlfriends, tell them Faith has a new series. Please, let's log on every weekend. Let's learn together as we become women who honor God by honoring and following His commands. So stay tuned and thank you for watching.